What's up, guys? The Necrochasm is back in Destiny 2 with the return of Crota's Inn, and this weapon is an absolute beast in D2. This video will be going over exactly what it does and something that's incredibly broken with it. So how do you get this weapon? Well, you have to beat Crota's Inn in Destiny 2, and when you do so in the vendor screen at the end of the raid, like all the other raids, there'll be a quest you can pick up during the 48 hours of the contest mode. This entire quest line will auto-complete and give you the Necrochasm. Once the contest mode is lifted on Sunday, that will no longer be the case, and you'll have to do the quest line, which I don't know what that all entails, but that will be the way to get the Necrochasm then. But if you do it before then, it just auto completes and you get it right away. So looking at this weapon, first with the exotic perk, the Curse Bringer, precision final blows with this weapon trigger a Curse Thrall explosion. Final blows with Curse Thrall explosions refill the magazine. So looking at this, these Curse Thrall explosions are huge and do a lot of damage. I mean, you just get a precision kill in one lane, next thing you know, everything remotely close is dead. And every single time you get a final blow with those Curse Thrall explosions, it will refill the magazine, which means in a lot of situations you won't have to reload this weapon. And yeah, it's really hard to explain. These Curse Thralls are huge, and it almost seems like sometimes there's more than one, which my theory is, obviously it could be wrong. If you look at this clip, whenever you do a Curse Thrall explosion, it applies a very short dot damage to nearby targets, and I think if they die during that, it will then do a Curse Thrall explosion also, which makes it seem like for the initial precision kill, it usually chains into at least a few Curse Thrall explosions, covering a huge radius and doing a lot of damage. And the second perk on the weapon, Desperation, reloading after a precision final blow or a final blow with your Curse Thrall explosions increases your rate of fire and improves stability and aim assist. So normally the weapon is a 720 RPM auto rifle, which is not what it was in Destiny 1. So as you can imagine, if you play D1, you probably know where this is going. Now if we reload after a precision kill or get any Curse Thrall explosion, which will refill the magazine, we have Desperation for 6 seconds, which takes it to a 900 RPM, the same it was in Destiny 1, and the fastest firing AR in the game, maybe outside of Suros. So the whole loop of this weapon is you get precision final blow to proc a Curse Thrall, hopefully get a kill with it to proc Desperation and refill the magazine, and always have the 900 RPM and increased stability and aim assist. So going back to that whole dot damage thing, it's very short, only taking like 3 or 4 times for 602 on Carl, but just like Osseo and Thorn, does this work with the Necrotic Grip? And the answer is, of course it does. So look at this. If you get one precision final blow to proc a Curse Thrall explosion, that dot damage now is the Necrotic Grip dot damage, which then means if it gets a final blow, it will spread to nearby enemies. And if you apply it to a single target, it will be the Necrotic Grip damage and scale up very quickly and be way higher than that initial 602. The one thing I did notice is my earlier theory of if anything dies from the dot damage, they also explode like a Curse Thrall. It does not seem to work with Necrotic Grip, so I'm not sure if that's just disproves my entire theory overall, or it just doesn't work with the dot of the Necrotic Grip. So yeah, you can just slide the Necrotic Grip into the old Osseo build with the consumption of Shackle Grenades. You can pause the video or slow it down if you want to see the build. It was the same as the old Osseo Necrotic, but now with the Necrochasm. And like most things in the game for the Osseo build, this is almost pure overkill because the initial explosions of the Cursed Thralls are so strong that it almost kills everything nearby anyways, which kind of ends the chain and doesn't allow the Suspend and the Necrotic Grip to chain over and over again. But in the right situation, it'll be really good. But what I'm trying to say is just the base Necrochasm and its initial explosion is so strong in most situations that it almost doesn't really need anything else on top of it. But if you want to go full out, you could use that build with the Suspend and the Necrotic Grip. And yeah, overall, I really love this scene. It feels really good, way better than it did in Destiny 1. It's almost up there with like Graviton Lance and Sunshot. Both those two weapons are going to be better at chaining if you're not using Necrotic Grip with the Necrochasm. But the initial explosion of the Necro is just way stronger and does more damage and kind of chains to some extent. So its initial explosion is definitely the best of those 3 weapons. But I still give Sunshot and mostly Graviton Lance like a little bit of a +1 in terms of ability to chain. Anyways, I think the rest of the video will just be a lot of gameplay from the seasonal activity. Like usual, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.